What's up, everybody? What up, Joe? It's your girl, Miss Marjon. I am so excited. This is not necessarily a podcast episode. We concluded our first season with the Convo with Miss Marjon a couple weeks ago or whatever. This is a bonus round. I told y'all it's so much information. I swear every day I got something to report out about. And I sometimes don't just have time to go live. So today I was supposed to podcast with a client and we had to cancel. So that's why I got time to be on here with y'all. But I'm trying some new things. So first of all, went ahead and ran the intro, but I want to also give you an idea of what I'm talking about. All right, and let it run and then break down each segment. So in this episode, it's a bonus episode and just want to clear up some things real quick for you. Shout out to Xfinity and Wild Cable that have picked us up and everything. We're super duper excited about that. And so with that, we are on 2 cable networks and so forth, as well as YouTube, my Facebook channels or pages, and LinkedIn. We're on LinkedIn now because I have a nice following on LinkedIn and some nosy folks too. You know how that is. But in this episode, there's going to be 3 segments moving forward with the Convo with Ms. Marjon. My 60-pound challenge. I'll be telling you what I've been doing, how I'm doing, the ups and downs. The Substitute Teacher Chronicles, okay? Substitute Teacher Chronicles. As most of you may or may not know, I've been doing substitute teaching since last year, on and off working, a 9-to-5 job. And it's something I've been doing just to always have as a backup for income, and then also backup for content creation. And then also, last but not least, Real Talk. I've been doing Real Talk for a while, and that's where we just really deep dive into some areas and some things and some topics. And as always, please make sure you check out my website. That's how you can be a guest on my podcast. Find out what I'm doing. My bio's on there. Other podcast shows I've done for the Convo, as well as other clients. Also, it has the link to the time I was on the Drew Barrymore show. So make sure you check that out. Also, drop a comment in the comment section. I'll respond. If I don't do it here and call you out, I will definitely do it. I'll respond to you, when I get a chance. All right. So with that, y'all, let's go ahead. Once again, we're going to talk about the 60-pound challenge, the Substitute Teacher Chronicles, and Real Talk. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. 60-pound challenge update. Where am I? Well, just want to bring some of you guys into May 16. Today's May 16. About 2 years ago, I had gastric bypass surgery. Okay, go figure. While I'm taping, my co-host would be walking behind me. Let's give it up for Bentley. All right. Anyway, didn't want to be rude. But 2 years ago, I had gastric bypass surgery and lost a lot of weight in 2024. You know how it is when you have gastric bypass surgery, and we'll talk, that'll be an episode, a good bonus episode to talk about gastric bypass surgery. And lost a lot of weight, lost almost like about 50 pounds or so that first year. And then unfortunately, my boyfriend got real sick at the time, George Ross, and passed away. And let me tell you, y'all, life be lifing. And on top of having crazy clients, yes, I said it, and jobs, crazy bosses, that's a whole nother episode I'm going to do. But I got to make sure I talk to my lawyer because I don't want to get sued by some of these people I used to work for. And I gained some weight back. So kind of like in February. In fact, February 1st, I kicked off the 60-pound challenge. You know what I'm saying? And so since then, I've been up, I've been down, but I am here to tell y'all, give it up for me, give it up for me, give it up for me. I have lost just this week 4 pounds. I've lost 4 pounds this week, so I'm down in the 240s. And so what I'm doing, y'all, is the 60-pound challenge all the way up to my 52nd birthday, which is November 2nd. So I got some time, and my goal is to get to 198. I haven't been in the 100s, y'all, since high school, probably. maybe a little bit of college, beginning of college, and I went to college in the 90s. So I've always kind of been in the 200s. I've always been an obese, heavy person, growing up. So to get in the 100, y'all, I swear I'm gonna probably be half naked. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. All right, because some of y'all are almost half naked now, and you're not even in the hundreds. Ooh. But anyway, y'all, that is the goal. What am I doing? I'm watching what I'm eating. Yes, I have to be raw and real. I'm not tracking Jack. Okay. I I'm kind of tracking in my head. But the goal is to start using a bariatric app that I have, okay? Because I had bariatric surgery, but there's so many apps that you can use. Now, one thing I am being consistent about. Now, okay, let me also jump into the water thing. I have a water jug. It's not up here. I'm drinking coffee right now, but it's like holds about 50 ounces. So I get that in. But I know I need to do better with my water. Also, y'all, I definitely get in about 6,000 steps a day. Sometimes I go to the gym and sometimes I'm just walking about because I'm a very high energy, high strung person. I'm always on 10. So I do manage to get my 6,000 steps in, if not more, a day, y'all. But I love my wine, and that has calories, right? I love, what else do I love? Y'all make sure y'all drop some comments and stuff like that in there. You know what I'm saying? But I love a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a person that drinks hard liquor really, unless I go out or something. I usually like my wine at home, my Moscato. So that's my thing. That's a hard thing right there. I love sweets and I love carbs. I love like pasta. So I try to kind of contain that, not go crazy with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to I've been out with people and they like, aren't you on that 60? You can't eat that. You on that 60-pound challenge. I'm like, shut the hell up. Let me tell you something, y'all. The worst thing you could do is tell somebody how to eat when you know they trying to diet or whatever you want to call it. I don't even say diet. I'm just trying to maintain a healthy life. All right. So with that, we gonna do it this summer. Get into I found a new place to do goat yoga. Y'all, it's gonna be on and popping. For those of y'all that want to get in on goat yoga, comment in the comment section. Go ahead and comment in the comment section. Are y'all gonna do yoga with me? I know y'all gonna do yoga with me. Who gonna do goat yoga with me? All right. Y'all better go ahead and do goat yoga with me. All right. All right. So anyway, I gotta go here and see if some of y'all are commenting and stuff like that. I don't know what some of y'all are doing. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure everything's in my social media pages and stuff like that. You know how it is, y'all. But anyway, let's go on to the next topic. You know what I'm saying? The Substitute Chronicles. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Woo! Y'all, I thought this was gonna be an easy thing to do. Just get in, substitute teach, get out. Go sit with some kids, get out. Y'all, let me tell you. I know, and I'll talk about this in the real talk section or segment. I'm an unconventional person. That's what my segment, my real talk is about. These kids are so unfiltered and they say whatever the hell they want to say. And it used to be like elementary kids or maybe middle school. They were cute, definitely elementary. But these elementary kids and middle school kids, they are not cute to me. They seem cute at first when you see them walking in the hall with their teachers. But when you are their substitute teacher, the lack of respect is undescribable. I had a situation where a little girl came up to me and was like, Miss P, are you a boy or girl? I was like, if you don't sit your ass down. And then I hope y'all heard, you can't cuss at the kids. You can't be mean to them, because next thing you know, they done told their parents and all this other craziness. So you got to be mindful. You got to be real careful. I find it very hard to not voice my opinion, especially being a podcaster or a media personality person, and where we have freedom of speech in this American world. But I'm like, if you can say it, then you should be able to dish it back in, right? I don't care if you are 6. But yeah, I'm talking about This one little girl was like, Miss P, are you a boy or girl? I was about to say, ask your daddy. Am I a boy or girl? Ask your granddaddy. Then I had one little boy named Dayton say, no, the little kid came and said, Miss Parham, they say you fat. I said, if you don't sit down. Now, first of all, they don't understand that some stuff you don't need to communicate or explain. I said to myself, Lord, thank God I got something. I got some goals. I got thick skin, because I'd be sitting here in the mental, ward or whatever, and listen to what all these kids have to say or what they ask of you. And then what they would also do is they'll be like, Miss P, Kelly says she's not my friend. I'm like, girl, be thankful. Kelly probably ain't about nothing. But it's so funny how these kids, one minute want to be grown and the next minute they want to be babies. And it's just something. It's something to see and observe. I'm telling you, the student lounge culture is so funny. It was like when I was in the student lounges, I'd be trying to be quiet and meditate and dealing with the kids, whatever, the first half of the day, because I'm thinking like I got to get mentally prepared to deal with them for the rest of the day. And the stuff that these teachers talk about in the lounge is hilarious. They're always talking about how much vacation time they got. I guess now everybody's here. It is not even summer, and they're already trying to use up a lot of their vacation time, I guess. You know what I'm saying? It's insane how much work, at least here in Michigan, how many substitute teacher assignments there are. And the thing that kills me is how it's so last minute. It's almost like you didn't know you needed a sub like 5 hours ago, 2 hours ago. And then, I'm noticing they're starting to put some of these special ed kids into regular classrooms. You know what I'm saying? I had one little boy come up to me, and I know y'all going to be like, Marjon, you know you wrong. You know you wrong. For those bad, one little boy came up to me, and I wasn't even looking, and he was like, Miss Marjon. I said, go sit down. Go sit down. Go sit down. Because I didn't want to go to hell. See, what you're not going to do is have me say something and then I'll be feeling bad. But that little boy came to me. He was like, I said, go sit down. Go sit down. Because I don't know what to do with that. And what I'm noticing, and some of y'all like, Marjon, you wrong. But no, I mean, that's what he did for most of the class. And then I had one lady, a little Indian lady, had all her garb on, all her stuff on, bringing this little kid, and he was screaming and hollering. And here I was, a substitute in the library, and she brought him in the library, and he was screaming and hollering. And I'm looking at her like, you need to take him in one of those private rooms, because in these schools now they got these sensory rooms and all this stuff where they can go unleash whatever, have episodes and whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, why would you bring him to the library? Only me. And I talked, I think one time I had to take it down. I was talking about the realities of some of these teachers, what they're dealing with some of these kids. You got some of these kids who probably need to be in special classrooms, and they're not, because their parents are in denial about what's going on with them. It's obvious some of these kids are autistic or got some cognitive, some issues or, situations. And it's just own it. But you have some parents like, no, keep them in the regular English class. Keep them in this. I'm sure. I'm guessing. This is Miss Marjon talking. And I'm noticing that these kids definitely don't need to be in a regular class, because some of these kids, the other kids, are looking at them some kind of way. And even though some of them are not mean, you could tell the interaction is not real. I had, like, for example, I was at one high school in an English class, and this kid came in. First of all, I didn't know he was autistic or whatever. And he came right up in my space and was tapping on my shoulder. Now, let me tell you, because I have some experience dealing with special ed kids, I kind of knew, okay, something is going on here. But what if I didn't? I would have been like, motherfucker, get your ass, get away. Like, that could have startled me. I could have said some stuff, got, real ignorant. And I didn't. I thank God I didn't. But then also, it's so funny to explain this stuff to, like, my mother, who's a baby boomer. Because, I hear a lot of teachers or former teachers who used to teach back in the 80s and 90s, and they're like, oh, yeah, it was something being a teacher. I'm like, I'm sure it's different now. Teachers back in the day actually enjoyed teaching, and you actually probably did teach. Now, I don't have a lot of friends who are teachers who are, I mean, don't get me wrong. I do feel they probably have a calling to teach, but I don't know a lot of teachers nowadays that are really super excited about their jobs. And please comment in the comment section if I'm right or wrong about that. If you love your job as a teacher, then please let me know. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's probably some things that you do still like in 2026, but these mofos, these little kids, these crumb snatchers, some of them, not all of them, some of them are a piece of work. And it's always one or two in the bunch that will ruin your almost whole day or probably almost your whole career. Because what has happened is it used to be where the teacher was right, or the parent would be like, I need to talk to the teacher. But now they believe the kid over the teacher. And I'm not saying that all teachers, teachers, they know everything, if they're always right. No, I mean, there are probably some times where, you got to make sure, it's probably not, there's probably some issues or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's some teachers that probably, need to be checked. But there's some kids that need to be checked. And we have, oh my gosh, I can't explain enough how we have spoiled the heck out of these kids. We have spoiled the heck out of these kids. All right. So y'all make sure you drop a comment. Let me know what y'all think about these kids. If you're a teacher, let me know what you think. Am I right? Am I wrong? What's going on? What's going on? So last but not least, y'all, I want to talk about real talk, unconventionalness. I went to a coffee kind of connect session that my therapist life coach had yesterday. Yesterday morning, and it was with a group of really amazing women. We met, we had coffee, they had tea. You was able to, you could bring your own breakfast and so forth. And it was really cool to hear other people, it was all women. It's all women. And hear what they had to say, what they have going on. A lot of them were moms, a lot of them are married. I was probably one of the few single, non-mother people. And, it's really interesting when you sit down and have these group discussions. You really got to be a great moderator, because what you'll have is, and this didn't happen yesterday, but what I've seen in other situations where you'll have certain people that'll hog up all the time. Have you noticed that? You'll be sitting there like, well, hell, when am I going to get a chance to talk? And so one of the things that I noticed, and I must admit that this group really helped me with, is I realized I'm unconventional. Any of you who know me from like at least 5 or 6 years, or probably just 1 year, I have a very unconventional lifestyle, and I think outside the box. And here's the thing. Every year, every month, every quarter, every day, every second, every minute, I am constantly struggling and learning how to embrace that without any type of apology. So unapologetically learning how to embrace my, realness, my unconventionalness and all that. Drop a comment if you unconventional, because I definitely want to hang with your tail. I want to hang with my unconventional people. I'm thinking about, honestly, y'all, trying to have a unconventional festival convention conference or something. I want to have people, my sidekick is over here. I want to have a group of people. I don't care if you're married, single, divorced, it's complicated. Let's have an unconventional conference fest. Where we dance, like maybe one Friday night we get together, Saturday, like we go somewhere to a resort or something. And we just have some unconventional experiences. And I know I'm being funny, but I'm being serious, because here's the thing. With real talk being unconventional, it's like a lot of times you find yourself feeling guilty. You find yourself sometimes being depressed because it's like you can't find other like-minded people. And what I may consider unconventional may be different than what you consider unconventional. But when I say unconventional, I'm talking about like where if everybody's going right, your ass is going left. Okay. Sometimes you cuss, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you drink coffee, sometimes you don't. You do. You drink liquor, but you really don't care. And that's the reason why I've gotten in a lot of trouble. And I'm going to be using these bonus lives to kind of talk about that. And I've had to keep in mind, like, my mother's not unconventional. Like, my mother, so sometimes she'll see these videos and she'll be like, Marge, please. I'm like, Mama, please. I got to talk about this. And the reason is, when I'm ready to quit and stop doing these lives, there's always somebody I'll see at church, or they'll text me, or they'll come on in my DMs and be like, Marjon, thank you so much. You blessed me with that video. And so I want to encourage people, be you, whatever that is, long as it's legal. All right. I mean, if you the type of person that you just walking around like this, walk around like this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just gets to a point where I get so sick of apologizing and trying to figure out why I don't fit in. And that's why now I'm putting this on LinkedIn, because this also ties into real talk. A lot of these jobs, or these bosses, or these managers I've worked for, I've come to the conclusion it's not meant for Miss Marjon to be at every company. It's not meant for Marjon to work with every individual or nonprofit or business. You know what I'm saying? It's just not meant for me to do that. And I'm okay with that. I think the thing that pisses me the hell off is when I work for these insecure, narcissistic, bipolar mofos. Yes, and that's probably the last 5 managers I've had. I wish I could name their names. My lawyer was like, please don't do that. I swear, I have had, since COVID, every single job. If you look at my LinkedIn profile, go right ahead. Every single manager I pretty much have had has been some form of mental illness, narcissistic, micromanager, bipolar, whatever. I'm talking about miserable, and therefore wanted to make my life miserable. And when I would come into some of these jobs, y'all, I'd be like just trying to be Miss Marjon, quiet. I used to sometimes come in and talk about my podcast, but I had to stop doing that. And I even had one boss who Googled me and found out I had a podcast and brought it up. I even had another manager come to me and say she wanted to be on my show. And then next thing I know, they let me go, because I'm like, but I'm trying to just work here. I'm not trying to have you as a guest. I'm not trying to show you any of my personal stuff. But still, when you're a media personality, you can't help it. So I had to learn, you know what, Marjon, you just maybe need to start pivot and do something else. And so that's why I've been focusing more on my media personality stuff, making money doing that. And that has really been a blessing, because when you're trying to force a certain thing into your life, like a job, a manager, a relationship, it can be outright depressing. I have noticed how my skin is cleared up. My bowel movements are more normal, sort of now. I'm just kidding. But I know some of you are like, oh, TMI. But I'm serious, y'all. Like, I was getting at this last job I was at. No, I ain't gonna name no names. I had dark circles starting to form up. There go my co-host in the back. I had dark circles that were forming, bags that were forming. My skin was starting to get all like acne. Now you know, probably because of my lighting and stuff, but yeah. So much better, so much happier. And that's because I'm able to be me now. All right. So y'all, I love you. Thank you for this bonus space and time. I'm telling you, if you want to get in on, whatever, my future episodes, make sure you go to Linktree. All right. My Linktree website / Miss Marjon. It's there on the screen. And on there, besides, if you just want to see what I'm working on, that's going to be the one-stop shop for Miss Marjon. What is Miss Marjon up to? I'm going to start using that to put kind of like what I got going on. All right. And also, as far as these bonus episodes, because I haven't kicked off season 2 yet of my podcast. Because like I said, I got clients, I got to finish up their stuff. And the thing is, I'm using this as a way to communicate to y'all. I was going to do the podcast workshop, but I canceled it. Remember? Yeah, I canceled it because you know what? I got to focus on Miss Marjon. I got to finish this 60-pound challenge. I got to kind of work on some things as it pertains to my income. I'm going to be bringing some people who are doing the doggone thing, as far as financial advisors and financial gurus and stuff like that. So I'm super, super excited working on that. Please drop a comment. You always are welcome to speak your truth with me. That's one thing. I think that's why those kids, when I go and do substitute teaching, they feel so comfortable around me. You can't tell me, because I know they don't do that with everybody else. They're not telling everybody else they're fat, asking them are they a boy or girl, or Miss P, you have any kids? Miss P, what do you do on the weekend? I mean, a lot of them, when they come in and they see me, their eyes light up. And then probably because I'm a substitute. But then also when I get to talking and they see my personality, it's like one little girl's like, Miss P, when you coming back? You the best teacher in the whole wide world. You fun. And I appreciate those comments as opposed to, are you asking me, am I a boy or girl, or something about I'm fat? But you know what? Those other kind of comments or questions help me stay on top of my game as well, too, y'all. So, hey, if I wasn't doing the 60-pound challenge, I probably would be like, I am fat. Oh my God. But I know. I told the little boy, I'm not fat, I'm juicy. He was like, I was like, yeah, now go sit your ass down. That's the new thing. Go sit your ass down. I don't care if you're a Christian, you're a Jehovah Witness. Go sit your ass. Oh, okay. Y'all drop a comment. Okay, what y'all think about these kids? What y'all doing with your health? Let me show the runner again. We talked about the 60-pound challenge. We talked about the substitute teacher Chronicles. We talked about real talk, meaning, hey, being unconventional. But real talk, I'll be tapping on different comments, and some stuff is going to be a little risque. It's going to be a little risque. One of the things I'll probably do in the next couple of days, I'm going to be talking about jobs. I'm going to go in hard. I'm going to go in so hard, y'all. Y'all going to almost probably know who I'm talking about. I'm going to go through each of my jobs and the craziness, the unconventional craziness that I experience. It's got to be said. I'm always the one that speaks up and either loses their job or almost loses their job or gets blackballed. I've been in some jobs where I'm literally in the corner like this. Like, I'm not the one being asked to go to happy hour. I'm not the one that's being asked to go to Ghana. Oh, did I say that? I had one job. They took everybody else to Ghana, even the people fresh out of prison. Everybody got a chance to go, but Miss Marjon had to stay here in the Detroit. And that's fine. But I'm telling you, I've had people do me so wrong to only end up having a stroke. I find out later, get divorced, almost get ran over by a bus. I'm talking about managers, whatever. But we'll talk on it, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all want to talk about. If you don't want to be a guest, that's cool. But if there's something that's a topic you definitely want me to cover, please either drop it in the comment or go to my website and tell me there or whatever. But I'm telling you, definitely let me know. All right. So I love you. Like I said, you can go to my website and check out these episodes on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And then, of course, I am on Wow Cable. Yes, Wow Cable, WOW. Okay, exclamation point. Wait, okay, and Xfinity Cable. So I love you. And as always, ain't a doggo thing you can do about it. Peace.